Hey, today we're at Station 5, right?
Station 5, yes.
Great. And this is
Jess.
the Jess.
The Jess.
The Jess.
Yeah.
So
there's only one of us here that I know of.
there you are. Okay, so tell us a little bit about you first,
Okay.
and then maybe how long you've been at the station, that kind of thing, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. I'm Jess. I've been at this department for 3 years. I worked at the county for a year before that.
Oh.
I've been at this station currently. I got moved in August of last year, but this was actually the second station I was at this department. So this was kind of home. This is the longest station I've been at, you know. So it's one of my favorites. It's a really good zone. You get a lot of mix of different interactions, different people, you know.
So how long have you been a firefighter total then?
Total for just over 4 years, 4.5 years, something like that.
So why firefighting?
So it's interesting. I didn't want to do firefighting initially. I wanted to do EMS stuff. So I did that, and I had several people who were interested. My ex now was interested in firefighting, and I was like, let's go look into it. And so we did that, and then I did a ride along, and I loved it. I loved everything about like doing fires, running calls, everything's different. It was perfect for me. I wanted to be outside, and then I found out that my namesake, I was named after a long line of Jessies, were all firefighters and wrote books on hydraulics and taught, and my grandfather was at Station 5 of Birmingham Fire, so legacy.
That is super, super cool.
Yeah.
So when you did your ride along, were you ready to join, or were you, I'll test it with my ride along and see if it's interesting, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I wasn't sold until I first did a ride along, and they put me in full gear on air. I got to carry tools around. It was at GFR, and I had so much fun on a ride along. They went above and beyond. If you wanted to, we got gear. I don't think it fit my gear, but you know, I know I'm super tall, but.
Do it this way.
There you go. Yeah. But yeah, they did that.
Very,
and
very cool.
Yeah, I got a full experience, and I got to work with a couple of people that they're all still here. And I credit them to, they showed me how to be a firefighter and what that actually meant.
Yeah.
So I like to, we come in, and I'm sure that you've had other people tell you, we check out the trucks, we put up a flag, we do all of that. We settle in. I get to talk to the crews ongoing, offgoing, and all my crews coming on, and get to figure out what we're going to do throughout the day. And then we like to work out. We have a whole workout Bible outside now, I guess. Nobody else has been writing in it, so that's D shift, just us. So, but yeah, so we just finished that, which is why I'm still in my PTs. This is not what I wear on calls, I promise. A little more professional than that.
Okay.
But yeah, you want to see the truck?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
So this is one of the newer trucks. Newer engines. We only have, it's a sister to Station 2's engine, so we have all the fancy electronics on it.
Well, tell me a little bit of what fancy electronic means to
we have
you.
power windows.
Power?
Yeah, we don't scroll them down. We have power windows.
When you say this is a newer truck, what does new mean to you?
2 or 3 years old. 2 years old, something like that.
Is there such thing as a newer one in the fleet? Not yours here, but is there a newer one in the system?
A newer one in the system.
That you're aware of?
I don't think so. I think
so you got
2
the best.
and 5. Yeah, we're just we're tier 1 here. Tier 1 at this station, as my lieutenant likes to say. So
I like it.
We know where we are. It also has an electronic pump panel, so
Okay, that looks complicated.
It's supposed to look like that, so other people won't touch it. It's actually not, but we like to do that so people don't actually touch things on it.
I agree.
But we do have it color coded.
Mm-hmm.
So the colors up there, 3, numbers. That's
So
how
are we going to
works.
get to the point where we have electric? Do you think that's
They
coming?
have electric fire engines out in California, probably in Europe. But they definitely
California
have them.
makes sense, right? That would be a state to have it.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure how they work. I haven't looked into it too much about how that goes with charging or with anything like that. The majority of what I know about electric vehicles is what are we going to do when there's an electric vehicle fire? What's going to happen? when we have to extricate because they're super reinforced on some of those where the battery placements are.
Ugh.
That's what I know. I don't really know about the engine other than I was like, that's really interesting that they have one because our trucks are really loud. And I think it almost helps like to let people know we're coming. They're like, stay away from this, you know? But
Move.
it is, but it is
Move.
hard for us to communicate sometimes like near it. But so I don't know too much about this yet. I'm going to be doing driver test stuff later this year. I ride backwards, which is to me, it's the most fun job.
Ride backwards, meaning literally when you're in it.
I'm facing backwards. Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a firefighter. So I'm. That's how you start when you first come here. Is you start off as a firefighter, then driver, then lieutenant. And from there on, chief positions or captain's positions.
Is that a path that you're looking forward to?
I am actually. Yeah, I do like being a firefighter. I feel like at some point, like my time will come for other people, and then same with driver and moving on. And there are people who want to be firefighters forever, and I think that's awesome. We also need that. We need to keep senior firefighters or senior drivers or whatever. But for me, I feel like I want to do the best I can here, then move on, do the best I can as a driver, and move on. And if I cap out and I don't feel like I'm ready or I will be a good fit for that role, I won't do it. But I literally, like my gears up here, I ride in this seat, so I'm riding facing backwards. And
what is the reason for a backward facing?
I can step out easier. Actually, like their tail boards used to ride backwards to be able to see all the hose and everything. I also, if I'm going to a fire, I actually will ride in the seat here facing because I want to see what they're seeing and be able to look out as well. And also like important calls and stuff that I'm having to look. And I also have a map book back here. So if we're going to a neighborhood or apartment complex and I'm like trying to help the driver navigate,
Sure.
I'm like, so you're going to turn left and then a weird right. And then, it's helpful for me to like be able to see out front. So I will do that as well.
Am I allowed to just sit on that?
Yeah, here. I'll move this.
No, you don't have to move it. I just want to be cool.
Well, it's painful if you sit on the straps wrong. So I'm going to move that part. So you put your lower back there.
Okay, this is so cool.
Yeah. Yep. And then I have, we just moved this truck in. So I have tools here I can grab. Those are our
that's just
forcible
too cool.
entry tools. Yeah, the Halligan and the axe.
What was the first word you used?
So this is called a Halligan. It's like a weird tool. It's not a normal everyday tool, but it's very specific for us and our needs. And then we have, what an axe is.
So on the way there, are you able to start to figure out, I'm going to be grabbing this? Like it's necessary, let's get ready. When I get there, I'm off and running kind of thing?
Yeah, so we have standard calls we take this on. Any fire alarm, I'm going to grab this and our water extinguisher. It's like pressurized water. We call it the water can. So I know what that is. So we have 3 extinguishers on this truck, but that's one of them. And I grab those and that in case there is a fire. In case we need to get into a place, we can use this to get through the door. And in case it's a small fire, because fire alarms, oftentimes they aren't anything, but sometimes they are. And so we have to bring all of that. But these tools are for like forcing entry into a place where we need to get in. We don't try to do it on a regular call, but if we need to get in, like we're going to use those. So they're ready.
So don't
there.
have good front doors because they're going down.
And they're going down.
So if you're sitting in here,
yes,
and everything's going on, is it loud in here like it is outside?
it is. So we have this. So I can hear what they're saying. It definitely, you can put it on. It definitely mutes everything.
Look at this, Kyle. Now I'm really cool.
Yeah, these are the coolest. So this goes in the back. So everybody does that. This is in the back of your head. This is the top, so you can adjust how tall it is. I have small head, so I have to always adjust that.
Chief, I'm ready. I can hear myself in here too.
Yeah, you'll be able to hear yourself, the radio, and so when they're giving us information, we get a call, dispatch will tell us, sick person, this is how old they are, male or female, like we're going to their house, here's the circumstances, like it's a fall patient, they're 78, they've been on the ground for less than 6 hours.
So every time you go someplace, you're putting this on no matter what then? Because you're getting so much information, this is the place to get it.
Yes, and the only times that I'm taking it off are if I have to, right before I get to a fire, I'll put my mask and everything on, but I usually let my lieutenant know, like, I'm offline, or I'm offline for a minute because I'm going to take it off in case, because they could be talking to me and I can't hear anything that they're saying with the truck running and sirens going. That's like pertinent information, like, hey, we're going to pull this hose or that hose. So it's very important that I know what's going on, so, and we can communicate. But yeah, there's ways to also mute yourself too. There's a button there for that. But other than that, it's pretty cool. I like I said, this job, you never know what you're going to get. You can't always assume like what's going to happen. We've had stuff turn into completely other things that, we didn't know what it was, so you never know.
So I'm curious, on your way to a call,
Yes.
do you ever have those scenarios where someone won't get their car out of the way and you can't get around? What do you do?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
What
wow.
we do is we either like try to lay on the horn, but if we see traffic, like where there's a light coming up, everybody's piled up there, they're going to have nowhere to go really, except for to go into oncoming. We'll go into oncoming traffic is what we do. We call it swimming upstream. And so when you're swimming upstream, you stay as close to the median and you don't haul like through it.
Right.
You're not trying to go fast and blow everybody off the road. You're trying to like make a path, because the people seeing you will like go around, and it works pretty well. Like swimming upstream is good,
So,
but it can be dangerous.
What is your message for people who are coming to a traffic light? How far should they stay back from the car in front of them so that when you approach, they can get out of your way?
I was always told to be able to see the back wheels touch the ground of the car in front of you, which is pretty good, I think, far ways.
Okay,
And
tell everyone to do that.
Please give us room. Also, I don't think they teach anymore. Everybody's supposed to move to the right,
Oh, that's the rule?
away
I didn't know that.
from the median. Yeah, and I don't know why they don't teach that anymore. But we try to hug the median, so people should all move to the right.
I
Sometimes
didn't
they
realize that.
split
Yep.
and they go different ways.
They think they're opening the path down the middle.
which isn't their fault. Like nobody's told them that to go to the
Yeah,
right.
I didn't
Everybody
know
go
that.
to the right side of the road so we can hug the median and get around. And that's when, if everybody goes crazy, it's dangerous for them. It's dangerous for us. So if everybody moves to the right, that's helpful. And if you stay far back enough from the vehicle in front of you,
Then you can get your nose over.
without hitting somebody, and nobody else has to like fly. Also, another PSA: don't follow us through lights. Don't follow us through red lights. It's dangerous for everybody.
And you know it's happening, right? It does happen.
I have had it happen. I've had them follow, especially when I was on. I used to be on an ambulance. They call them rescues here. When I was on a rescue, people would do that. It's dangerous. So
Are they going to the scene or just taking advantage of the light?
I think taking advantage of the light. I've also had family members follow, and they're nervous. And again,
Sure.
it's not really their fault for being so nervous, but at the same time, like we have to keep everybody safe.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think you guys should have a plan where you let people like me drive the engine.
I
Okay.
mean, you
Okay.
could, yeah. All right.
Thanks.
Get along here. All right.
Okay, that was super cool.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
This is it's good stuff.
So yeah, this is
I
my
got a close,
favorite.
I got a close
You got
up
a
of
close
that.
up. One of my closest friends here at the department, Sarah. I don't know if you've met Sarah. Gave me that. Yeah.
It's a meme.
Yeah, it's a meme. It's hidden on the back of my radio strap, so people don't really see
pretty-
it, but I know it's there. And every time I walk up to the truck, I get to see it. And
A social media classic.
exactly, that's what it's here for.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah,
Nothing better than bringing comedy into dark situations.
that is how we cope.
Yeah.
That's
The only way to
It's
survive.
traumatic.
It's
some
the
of
only way to
us-
survive.
Yeah. I do that and therapy, but like whatever works, to
Yeah.
get you through the day. So, but it is helpful. We do have like some dark jokes, some lighter.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good way to make it through the day too. It's like we always pretty much.
Okay. What else can you show us about the station? Anything special about this station?
This station is actually graded down in Florida. That's kind of like a weird thing.
Graded down, meaning
Like you
just
see
the slope.
the slope down
Yes.
into the bay, which sometimes floods. Not cool. What they did was when they built this station, they built it for an engine height, and they ended up sticking a quint in here. And I don't know if you've
right.
been. So there's a truck called a quint, and they call it a quint because it does 5 things. But the main thing is it has a big ladder on the top, and you can imagine when this was a couple feet higher, it did not fit in here. We couldn't even drive it in. So what they did was they sloped this down, And also a fun thing, it looks like only one engine fits in here.
Yes, it
they
does.
used to fit an engine and that Quint truck into here. So
Whoa.
yeah, so there's that.
And it looks like you don't have a separate training room, or is this just extra stuff on the side?
This
here?
is extra. Like we just
Okay.
did an outside workout. It's beautiful out. We're
Yeah,
gonna take
this is-
advantage
woo.
of that. And we have
sure.
like functional fitness stuff where like we'll drag the hose. So
Uh-huh.
that's what we did. But we have our gym is inside like our bedroom, so that's also fun. This is a really small station, so it's not the smallest, but it I do. We do
Do
have
people
that.
play hoops?
Yeah, well in the neighborhood.
Did you not see the basketball?
I did see the basketball. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, some of us do. You can play if you want.
Let's not get distracted, old man.
Let's not get hurt.
That's
You
it.
don't have to agree with him.
Oh, okay.
Like, he'll run with that.
Oh, okay. Oh, another thing about this station, I'm not sure if it's out there. We have pet squirrels.
Nice.
Yeah, they
I
come
mean,
up
they'll
to us.
come and eat.
Oh, in the mornings, you'll see like several of them lined up, and they'll be staring
Come
at you.
on.
They'll come into the bay too, and you
Like,
hand feed
I
them.
know I'm getting something if I
Oh.
come to this place.
Yes, they know. If you're a squirrel. That's the only ones that we feed.
Pretty cool.
You check. Hey, how's it going? Excuse me.
No, go ahead.
Other than that, like another fun thing is I don't think we have any nursing homes in this area, so we don't do that. This is the lovely laundry room,
Mhm.
nice and clean. We cut out the floor a few times.
Same horse.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a serious.
Yeah, so we have like should be commercial grade stuff. We have a lot of people eat. Again, there used to be 2 trucks out here, so you can imagine if we stick 4 people on a Quint and 3 people on an engine and 7 people you're trying to feed. Obviously, that's not the case now, but sometimes we'll have a 4th person, and if we have another rider, then a 5th. So we try to make. It's definitely not as big as like 8 or Station 1 or like
it's
the.
huge. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really big. It's a really nice station. I do like it out there, and they have the whole workout set up. But yeah, so this is small kitchen, living room. I'll show you our gym.
We have a wall of shame.
Oh, yeah.
Does every station have one? 'Cause I saw-
I think so.
I think
we
was
all
it
have. We
nine?
each have walls of shame.
I think not. I think
Josh.
I saw a picture of one, and
Yeah.
they had a piece of the fire truck had come off. One of the drivers had hit something, and they put it on the wall, and they put his picture there for
Yeah.
the whole wall of shame thing.
Oh well, we have that. We initially used it for these. So we have special
We don't even know how.
mugs. And then
You're kidding.
somebody left one at a different station. So we have the hooks up there. We hung them up there. Wall of shame. You forgot your mug. These are special mugs. And then
Okay.
it turned into that, which was way.
Okay, so wait, why don't you get a picture too? So you guys actually have fun. I mean, this.
Oh yeah.
You can
No, it's horrible. We hate yourself. Definitely the distracted driving. I mean, I've witnessed it firsthand. Especially like Station 2 or like that's a real common one because it's Archer Road. It's such a congested road. If you're getting a call, I've seen people stopping. As I'm driving the fire truck. And going the intersection, you can just tell. Like the first 10 cars will stop, and you're like, "Yep, that 10th car
Yeah.
is not stopping." And sure
They're
enough,
gonna-
right into them.
It happened at Engine
And
2
but
actually.
more
got
often
hit.
than not, it's because they're on their cell phones or doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's, just the state of law enforcement these days too, and everything. They're not, doing speed traps and everything. And
It's understaffed.
yeah, just staffing. And I think that's a nationwide problem.
So when I was in London, I didn't recognize just how much technology they use for all that sort of stuff. They have checkpoint inside the city of London, and even outside of it. Every quarter mile, they have the speed sensors. They're also cameras looking for your seatbelt. They bill you in the mail if they see it, but they're checking. So they have your license plate, and you're from checkpoint to checkpoint. They're also doing distance monitoring. So so you could be speeding.
Slow down.
Right, but if they're calculating the distance that you went inside that quarter mile and going, oh no, you were speeding inside of that, bill them, and they're doing a point system, like all of that sort of stuff. I didn't realize just how crazy it was until I got into an Uber, and we were in London, and it was everybody's on the dot, what the speed limit is, nothing more, nothing less, and the
Did it make you feel safer?
uh,
Knowing that speed limits being
yeah, they because of the city itself, they prioritize bikers a lot, and so driving is so much more complicated in London because no matter what, it will always be the driver's fault in London's eyes. Apparently, politically speaking, the bikers unionize really, really well and work together inside Congress, and they have protected bikers. So I was asking the Uber driver basically, hey, you know, if a guy pulls out straight in front of you and it's his fault and you hit him, like what's gonna happen? He's like, honestly, it's you're gonna end up at fault. Yeah, the driver's gonna end up at fault. The bikers rarely can do anything wrong. But anyway, long story short, that was
Kind of backwards doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
it does.
Bikers, they're going to lose every time over a vehicle.
Right.
And pedestrians.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I know it's the old, look both ways before you cross the street. Pretty simple.
twice.
Yeah.
It was twice.
Yeah, but just how much monitoring they're doing, and they're also looking for phone, like if they catch you on your phone, all that sort of stuff, and they're taking pictures of you every time you're rolling through the quarter mile, so they can tell when you're on your phone. Can't touch it. Literally can't touch it. Otherwise, you will end up with points on it. Get summoned to court, whatever it is.
Actually, they have that at Ocala has that technology in their fire trucks. That if they see you reach for it, that it'll set off an alarm and start the camera. And same with like if you hit like a speed bump or hit a curve or hit something like that, it also starts the camera too, in case like you're getting into a wreck and like stuff like that. So they actually have that. So I know that technology's out there to like do that, but I don't know if like we have the.
Let's keep going. We're gonna keep you guys all day.
Yeah, we're in the gym.
And we'll call all that stuff out.
Yeah, so we have some stuff out there.
This is real important. Yeah, it should be, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller because we also have our
Dorms.
here, but we also just got this.
How about that?
This is our new LED sign that's going to go up out there. We're actually going to put it up today, I think, because we have to drill into the block to do it. But
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Who makes the sign? Is that
we
the
got it
people
from an
here?
LED company.
Was it donated or did you guys have to buy it?
No, we bought it. Every station, I'm not sure if you've seen all the Station Pride. Station Pride's just basically like a logo for your station. So each station, almost every station has one. I think Station 4 and 6 don't. But we're the Wolf's Den. So I actually designed that, and then we got it put on shirts and stickers. And I'll give y'all a sticker if y'all want one.
I would love one.
Cool.
Of course.
Let's finish the. I don't want to run out of
Yeah.
I get it.
battery or storage. Lockers. Very cool.
These are lockers. Some are bigger than others. There's nothing really interesting about it. It's just clothes and sweaters and spare boots. And my bedding's not in there, so I just came back from a different station I was working at the other day. But here's some stickers.
Very cool.
Wolf's Den.
That's awesome.
It's going on my car.
You see our, we have all the
Cool.
the old school wolf on there. That was actually my lieutenant's idea, so he went with that. And then Wolf's Den is what it used to be a long time ago, so we were kind of like, going back to old legacy, the old school, because we didn't have one, and so we were trying to decide, and
You guys are
I think we
cool.
went with that.
you're cool.
We tried, you know what I mean? It's just the coolest. That's okay. Just don't tell them that they're cool.
It's on video.
Yeah.
They're gonna know you think you're the coolest.
No. Yeah. So nothing. Y'all didn't hear that.
You take care.